hop is inextricably linked to blackness. And I think when we say there's genuine hip hop artists everywhere, we are actually looking at the forest for the trees. What is a genuine good hip hop artist in a country that is openly and legally allowed to discriminate against black people, even in a club that would be playing hip hop music? What is a genuine hip hop artist that doesn't feel a responsibility towards blackness, that doesn't feel the weight of the world's anti-blackness? It's kind of a cop-out to say that it's only little boys who are cosplaying and I'm not listening to real men, when the majority of the culture, the majority of the people in it are grown men making very grown decisions. But I would also say that this quote cosplay goes even further than dreads or gold teeth or wearing gold chains or even co-oping AAVE. I think it's perfectly illustrated in Zico's second verse of Bermuda Triangle, where he says, "We have yellow skin, but I have black soul." It has always made me wonder what makes his soul black, because I have family members who can't dance, who can't sing, who can't make a beat to save their lives. But I think if they were to both be in Korea at one time, I don't know if people would recognize Zico's black soul compared to my family's or my friend's black soul. Like, if Zico lost the ability to write or make good music and good beats, would his soul still be black? Or when you think about what really started this in the first place, is PH1 gave Jay Park kudos for keeping the culture alive and being the GOAT. When Jay Park infamously had a video, was the DNA remix, where essentially he was talking about having Korean blood, when the entirety of the video, the majority of the people were wearing gold chains and gold teeth and dreadlocks and all of these things. He then infamously in his apology said that there are worse things in the world than Korean men with dreads, and we had good intentions. You don't have to worry about that. It was no harm, no foul. If we look to Asian Americans in an Anti-Black World, written by scholar Claire Jean Kim, we read, "Intent focuses on individual malice and distracts us from the inescapable structural dynamics of anti-blackness." We can go further in reading, according to Jae-Koon Kim and Min Ki-jung, Koreans at the turn of the 20th century embraced a three-tier typology in which Europeans were enlightened, Asian peoples were moving towards enlightenment at varying rates, and Africans and others were still in a state of savagery. This much resonated with Japanese and Chinese racial beliefs, but Koreans, because of their history, also have a specific anxiety about being colonized by and becoming the slaves of other Asian people. Drawing on social Darwinist logic, they viewed Black and indigenous peoples as inferior races destined for slavery and resolved to use education to elevate themselves and remain a free people. Blackness allowed Koreans to imagine themselves in the middle tier of people, where they could focus on how to expand the gap between themselves and those below. In this sense, anti-blackness was vital to Koreans' sense of themselves and their place in the modern world. Indeed, the fundament, the bedrock of Korean identity formation. Anti-blackness has been a facet of Korean culture since the late 1800s, coming from both Japanese colonialism and American imperialism. So when you think about the origin of hip-hop or R&B or blues or any of the music art that came from the Americas from Black people as a response to the violent racism that we face, it's interesting that people would be considered a genuine artist when they don't actually care about anti-blackness in this world. And there's going to be people who are like, oh my God, well, there are Black artists who aren't conscious, who do this, that, and the third, who do anti-Black things, who play into anti-Blackness. That is the truth. But if we were to take a Sexy Red, say, into Korea, and we put her in respectable clothes and we paint her face so she doesn't have any facial tattoos and she looks like a normal Black citizen, she will still have to deal with the repercussions of Blackness more so than any rapper in Korea ever will. It's more than making good beats. It's more than just making music. The option to opt out of Blackness, to be like an Owen who, before he had to backpedal because his friend was losing money, said he doesn't have to worry about Black Lives Matter. He doesn't have to worry about anything dealing with Blackness. That's not his business. While wearing the veneer of Blackness, as someone who makes money off of the culture of Blackness, right? It isn't a full responsibility to him. And he says it, and he was being straight up about it. Other people will be like, well, you know, they donate to BLM and they tell their parents not to be racist. And when Black people come, they're really nice to them. When you show me the Korean hip hop artist who is actively trying to fight back to anti-Blackness, maybe you can give me a ring. But until then, it's all like individual BS that doesn't actually do anything to move the needle. I want Korean hip-hop culture to die. I do want to see that tree fall because it is poisoned from the root. Until you actually till the soil of anti-Blackness, whatever plant that you grow from there, there will not have any fruit that will be worth giving a damn. And you may even say like, hey, it's not just Korea. It's any place that doesn't have like, that has rappers that aren't black. It's like, yes, this is not a Korea specific thing. I have this feeling for every non-black hip hop, R&B, culture, jazz, soul, whatever. Yeah, I have that same energy. Because anti-blackness is global, and the fear or feeling that you feel when you have to like look into the blackness that comes from the art that you're making is nowhere close to the actual effects of anti-blackness all over this world. Because again, it's like the bedrock to so much discrimination in this world.